Hey traders, John Howell here. Now is not the right time to be a bumblebee. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. Right, now is not the right time to be a bumblebee in these markets. And why I am mentioning that, and actually I want to get into also just a bit of an update of what's coming up this week. Something really interesting is happening right now, guys, across the world in these markets. And man, I'm out of breath right now. Probably thinking, what are you out of breath for? I just got my energy level up so I could actually do this video. Because right now it's literally, I'm not joking, it is 4:18 a.m. in the morning. It's a Monday morning here in good old Sydney, Australia. The sun is starting to come out, and I'm just so excited, guys. I am just so excited. I just cannot sleep. So I do sleep though. I go to bed early. So anyway. So the whole thing is, guys, I've been thinking about, especially this last weekend in these markets, is that now is not the right time to be going out there and just to be a bumblebee. Now, what is a bumblebee? Where you're jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. Wow, here's an idea and here's an idea and that's this one I want to get in, right? And oh my goodness, it's breaking away. Let's get in here, right? Now's not the right time. Why? Because history says that moving in from August now into September and the rest of this year, towards the end of the year, that's when volume and volatility picks up in the markets, okay? Now, it's important to have some sort of a structure, some sort of a plan of what you're looking for. Now, if you're looking to learn how I trade the markets and my trading system, what I actually look for, first link in the description, go click on that. I've actually just put together a free training. I'm going to teach you all the details to my trading system. I'm going to teach you the 3 secrets you must know, plus also a story about my dark past, about how I almost completely got wiped out. Not really happy about it, but it's I'm actually quite ashamed about it. But yeah, it's not a really good story, but it's yeah. Anyway, so go check that link in the description, and you'll be able to see all that of that, and especially when I got started 17 years ago. Anyway. So over the last 17 years of me trading the markets, guys, I have noticed that getting into this period right now, that what happens, the way that especially that I've noticed with the US markets as well too. I've noticed that the way that the markets work and the way that we see things happening right across these markets, right? So we have a look at the Dow Jones and you know, the Dow Jones, we can do some technical analysis on here and see what's happening and so on and so forth. And we've got gold and silver and we've got all the individual stocks, okay? So the thing is that I've noticed is that come through the middle of the year, you know, the whole sell in May, go away. Where did that come from? Sell in May and go away is really because you really get a lot of sort of lower volatility in the markets, generally, history speaking there, historically speaking there. And the thing is this, guys, is that when we are, the whole sell in May, go away, that's whole sell in May and probably, you know, come back in, say, when the volatility picks up. Now, the volatility picks up when the Americans go into their winter season, right? Because they say in the summer period, they used to call it, I remember back trading, geez, I was part of a live trading room. This is back probably 14 years ago now. And we used to trade for 10 hours straight trading the E-mini futures markets. And do you realize when we trade the E-mini futures markets, we went down to as low as a tick chart. That's a transaction chart. I'm not going to get into that too much, but it was crazy. So 1 minute charts, even lower than 1 minute charts. so it's crazy. If you've ever traded the tick chart, especially with like an FOMC announcement, oh my goodness, there's like 50 bars painted in like 10 seconds. That's crazy. Anyway, so they used to call it the summer doldrums, right? The summer doldrums in the markets. So guys, this whole video here is to get you ready not only for this week, but to give you guys some things to think about when it comes to your trading. And that is, guys, please, okay? Now is not the right time to be just FOMOing into the markets and looking for the next GameStop, okay? Now, on a technical basis, we can see the Dow Jones is dropping down, so we could be getting ready for a movement on the downside. Either way, it may not happen on the downside here, right? We're definitely getting on the Dow Jones. We're definitely getting a very, very close, strong below here, right? So that's definitely a warning sign. The market's doing that, so you cannot ignore this warning sign on the Dow Jones. We're not getting that on the S&P though, because the S&P is just like, we're still in a wedgie though, but we're still in a very good, strong upward trend. So anything can still happen here, right? And every time in the past, we've actually got a bit of a sharp drop down, as you can see, that guess what? We've actually had a move back up, and a move back up. So eventually we're going to go into like a bit of a sharp pullback, right? Because the market doesn't continue to make these high lows all the time. So we may be getting this may be the last little high low before we start to see something like that. Maybe the Dow Jones is giving us that warning sign that we're gonna see that. That's what's happening right now, right? But as you know, anything can happen. And also looking at the Nasdaq is the strongest one out of all of them. Like, look at the Nasdaq. If I squeeze my Nasdaq chart up, even if the Nasdaq has a bit of a more of a downside, which I do expect it to have, man, the Nasdaq is strong. So volatility, guys, is gonna start to pick up, okay? And especially in this period through here, you must be patient, okay? Be patient, guys. No bumblebees. That means have something, okay? Have something that you're looking for in a setup. And the purpose of me saying this is because I've been speaking to a lot of people about I've recently opened up some applications to my coaching program. And again, if you join that link in the description after the free training, if you're interested in joining my coaching program, then you can apply for that. It's not open, you can apply for it. Anyway, so I've been speaking to some people this week about, my coaching program and helping them, right? And I've been getting so many people that are just not getting it when it comes to what is the thing that if you want to be part of this thing called trading, okay? What is the thing that successful traders do and non-successful traders? And I'll tell you right now, it really comes back down to this: having a plan. Now, a plan is sometimes. I spoke to one guy recently. He's like, "I have a plan. It's more like a trade management plan." I'm just like, but if you don't know what you're looking for and you don't actually have a good trading setup, what the use is having a good trade management, right? Trade setup first, trade management and trade risk second, right? So that's the difference things, guys, is like, the whole thing about these markets, okay, is that if you're just looking for an idea out of these markets, I'm looking for an idea. Please, guys, please, there's no such thing as just a good idea, right? Because there's only sort of systems. Like even Warren Buffett, if he's looking to buy a company, guess what? He knows exactly what he's looking for in the company. He's looking for right? In a good trade setup, I'm looking for right? You'll be able to see a link in the description. It takes me half an hour to teach you that. But we're going through that, okay? So the difference is this, guys, and the reason why I'm doing this now is because I know volatility is just going to start to pick up, and there's going to be so many people that are just going to get hammered in these markets because they're not patient and they're jumping in and jumping out and jumping in and jumping out. And I want you to do really, really, really well. And we could be getting ready because we have been going up for quite some time. We could be getting ready for some really big volatility in the markets, which I'm excited about, by the way. Because when you see big volatility, it can do really well with your own trading there. So again, looking at these markets here, looking at say something like the Nasdaq, right? The Nasdaq is beautiful. We have a low, have a strong move up, and now we're just sort of just holding through here, and now we're just pulling back, okay? And so on the Nasdaq, we're still in a very, 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 very big bull market. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised to see this Nasdaq pull back. we did get a bit of an increase in volume. How was the actual, let's go have a look at the SPY. Look at the SPY, the volume there. You can see a pretty strong increase in volume on that one there. So, but again, guys, the big thing you want to keep an eye out for is the trend, right? The trend is your friend until the end. And this is where I'm getting very, very, very conflicted signals in these markets. And again, volatility is going to start to pick up big time, guys. We're getting into this summer period right now. It's the summer here in Sydney, Australia. It's going to be the winter in the New York, and I am just jumping out of my skin excited because the volatility is going to just create so much amazing opportunities for us if we know what we are looking for. And so you can see once again high, low, and what I'm really looking for is to see what the SPY does, because it's going to be really interesting to see how this performs, right? Because what I'm saying here is that the trend is your friend until the end, right? So if we have a look back, if we have a look back at the Rona days, you know, the COP situation, that word, right? It's like what's code word for Rona? Corona? I don't know, maybe. I tell you what, isn't that weird? Like talking about Corona, right? It's like shut down everything apart from the liquor store. You can buy a beer still. It's crazy. But right remember, the trend is your friend until the end, right? We have a low, a significant higher low, and the market runs up. This here was the point, right, where the S&P was giving us a bit of a warning sign. That remember, the trend is your friend until the end. Higher low, higher low, higher low, all the way up. And so if we're getting higher lows all the way up and we get this, that's going to give us the warning sign. That's the hard thing that's happening right now, and we're getting that on the Dow Jones. As I said before, we're getting the breaking of this low, so and a lower high. So the trend is your friend until the end. On the Dow Jones, it's actually looking weak right now. But on the S&P 500, yeah, we're still in the wedgie, and we're probably going to break out of it soon, or we will break out of it soon, and it's going to be pretty big too. We're still making these higher lows, so it's going to be. But the interesting thing that I'm looking at for on the S&P is to see where do we actually hold, because we're right at the 50% Fibonacci level, plus also this sort of longer term sort of trend line through here, as you can see, this sort of long-term trend line. But trend lines are just like here or there, right? Like, so if I can draw something like, let's just do something like that. Okay, so that'll be something like that anyway. It's just a trend line. But you can see we have this low point through here, we have this low point through here. So this really whole conjunction where we are right now is a telling sign. So what happens at the start of this week is going to be really interesting, because once we have the 50% Fibonacci around the 4,450 level, if that doesn't hold and we break this level through here, and we start to break especially the 62% level, which is around the 4,430 level, yeah, somewhere about there. Yep. If we do continue down through there, that's going to be a very, very weak sign, and then this may turn into something more. And so that's what I want to watch out for this week, is what actually happens here. Do we bounce and continue up like we've done every single time? Or is this now the final time to see, you know what, we're likely to start to see a move down like that. And then if we do that, do we eventually come back down to these lows through here? Because if that happens, guys, if we do come back down to these lows through here, that's going to give us a telling sign that, you know what, this momentum is slowing down big time in this very big bull market that we've had ever since, you know, they flushed it and then and then boosted it, right? They flushed it and then they gave it an injection, and then boom, right, away we go. So so we can see that you can see that this is the interesting thing that I'm looking out for, is on the short-term basis, guys. This is what I'm looking for. I'm saying, okay, what actually happens here on the market? Now, guys, when I'm actually trading, right, I'm just looking for my pattern. It's like, it's not like, oh, well, should I buy here now, John? If you're asking me, should you buy this stock? It's like, the answer is no. Why? Because I don't know if it's going to be a successful trade. It's like, stop looking for ideas, right? Look for a plan. Look, like, and this is the difference. This is the thing is that it's not the system you have to worry about. It's you have to worry about. People are always looking for a successful system, but 95% of your success comes from sticking to that system. That means good risk, knowing exactly what to look for, and so on and so forth, right? 95% of your success is that. It's not a system at all. It's like, show me a successful system, then I'm going to be successful. No, because you're not disciplined. You can't sit there and just trade that system. You might have a week where there's no trades. Oh my goodness, it's all over. And then you start to take this bullshit, and then that's when you go wrong, right? No bumblebee. So anyway, so Monday morning for me, guys. I'm getting ready for the week. So this is what I'm really looking for, okay, guys. This is what I'm really looking for on the market here, because if this happens, it's going to give us a telling sign that, you know what, maybe, just maybe, now we're getting ready for a lot more of a severe correction out of the markets, because we are, and we have been, in just this crazy move up. Now, here's what I do say about what I've just said about the markets. Now is not the time. You must be patient, all right? Because we're likely to get a lot of volatility. But if we do start to get the flushy, right? The flushy comes out, whoosh, and they start to do the flushy. Market starts to get a bit woo, right? All that sort of stuff. Now is not the time to be a FOMO. Now is not the time to be a bumblebee, right? Bumblebee is where you're jumping in and jumping out, getting, and no, relax, right? Now is not the time to be a bumblebee. Now is the time to be removing your emotions as much as possible in these markets. And the best way to do that is not have big risk in your account on any single given trade. But the reason why I say that is because, and not let your emotions take wild of these headlines that are going to come out if we do see the continuation of this movement down. I've been watching Hell's Kitchen, so I've got that, and the continuation of Hell's Kitchen. I've been watching Hell's Kitchen. Oh man, it's no wonder, isn't it interesting, guys? It's like it's no wonder that Chef Ramsay puts his chefs through he puts them through Hell's Kitchen, right? It's like, because if you can't handle Hell's Kitchen and heat pressure, there's no way you're going to be able to handle a really successful store. So, because I guarantee you, most of you guys will too. If I was coaching you guys will get a big, most of you guys anyway, will get a big F if you're trading the markets, right? Swing trading, so on and so forth. Big F, because if I looked at your spreadsheet or your trades, you'll be like, every single trade is something different. It's nothing there's no consistency with your plan. So Gordon Ramsay will be like, fuck off. Hey, I have a coach just like that. So I get coaching as well too, guys. And I go through the same periods. So if we do get a drop to the downside, and we are looking for that, okay? If we do get a drop to the downside and we do that, I want you to stay calm and not be so sucked in to the world is over, okay? Because here's the thing. There's a massive probability, and history says, and even where we are right now, there's a massive probability that, a huge probability, we're not at the top of the market yet. So a pullback or a correction is just going to be that. It's not going to turn into a bear market. Now, anything can happen, right? So, but the thing is this, guys, is that when looking at these markets, I want you to stay calm and look for opportunities, especially if you're an investor and that happens. That's going to bring about some really good opportunities for you to get into, because it's going to be a springboard. If September is a bearish month, right, and we start to get some really shakiness throughout this month, over the next couple of weeks, leading into October, as they call it, Rocktober. I'm gonna Rocktober, as they're leading into Rocktober. Guys, be ready, okay? Stay calm and stay focused, and not be sucked in about the fear and the greed of these markets. Because if the market starts to go down, you're gonna get these bumblebees out there, all right? You're gonna get these people out there that are just gonna You know, buzzing around like a bumblebee. Oh, the sky's falling, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. Okay? Actually, I know. I actually hope that happens because we're not at the top of the markets right now, and if we do get a correction, it's not likely to be huge amounts. We're not going to get like a 30 or 40% crash out of these markets. It's just going to be a correction, right? Maybe a 5%, 8%, 10% correction, maybe a bit more out of it, and then guess what's going to happen? If we're gonna find support and we're gonna rocket ship up into the end of the year. We're gonna rocket ship up towards the end of the year because nothing has changed, guys. Nothing has changed at all. If the market does go through a bit of a pullback, which is true, I'll put it this way, guys. If that does come, it's going to be an awesome opportunity, just like back in this day here. And if you guys remember back last year when this was happening. What was I doing through here, right? If you guys have been with me, then you guys know, right? I was like saying, this is a gift, this is a gift, this is a gift, and then the market took off. Okay, so we are getting very, 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 very close to this point here. The volatility is going to pick up, guys. Please, there's no problems there's no problem in you stepping out and just watching this market unfold for a bit and just wait for a really, 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 really good time. And please, guys, don't look for an idea, because an idea equals you just getting absolutely just destroyed. Idea is no good, right? We're not looking for an idea. You're looking to be, okay, I'm looking to trade a system. I'm looking to trade some sort of a pattern, some sort of thing that on the charts that repeats again and again and again and again and again and again, right? And you're just looking for that pattern. And I just tell all my private clients, you guys can crush these markets as well too. I tell all my private clients, listen, here's the pattern. Here's the system. Do nothing but do that. Do nothing but trade that. But how many people actually stick to the system, right? Out of you guys. If you're trading the markets right now and you're just looking for that idea, or you're looking for that newsletter to tell you that it's a good trade, bye-bye for you. Right? So that's what's happening with the actual stock market, okay? Just please, guys, if you want to get, I was just thinking about that. The whole thing like modeling, right? Like, what is modeling? Modeling is like, okay, find someone who's been doing something that you want to do and model them. What do any person out there that's made really good money from the markets that hasn't been a one and done lucky, but does it over a period of time? What do? What's the difference between them? And it's not luck, right? There's nothing as lucky, right? If you see someone who made $1 million in one trade, was he lucky? No. He probably spent 4 or 5 years really drilling down and understanding the markets and learning how to read the charts and really getting good at his system and looking for opportunities and looking for patterns that have a good probability of having big moves and so on and so forth, right? Then these opportunities come around. Like I remember last year, it was an incredible trade. I got into a trade and within, say, 4 weeks, that thing gave me like over 1,000% return within 4 weeks because the setup was there. Was I lucky? No. I wasn't lucky at all because I'd studied that pattern 1,000 times, and when the pattern appeared, I'm like, here we go, right? So moving over now through to, and again, the volatility, guys, and this actually could be a bit of, volatility is probably likely to pick up big time, especially like with the mining stocks. Again, like if you've been following me now for the last few months, I really thought that this was going to be some sort of a final bottom and then a rally up, but guess what? The data has changed and so must I. It's one of the hardest things that I find most of you bumblebees in the chat box below, right? And you're like, right? You little bumblebees in the chat box below. One of the things that I find that's hard for you to do is once you have an idea of something, you want to be right? Oh, I want to be right. And so you hold on to it. Right? You hold on to it and you hold on to it and you hold on to it and you hold on to it. Instead of saying, you know what? But that's not what trading's all about, right? If you look at some of the most successful fund managers, guess what? They don't have, you don't make money every single trade. So like right now, for example, here, if I took this here, which I did, I took this pattern here as a slingshot pattern. The data has changed, so I got out, right? It's like I can always get back in, but guess what? I'm not going to sit here and hope and pray and all that sort of stuff. When it comes to the market's here, and I must respect what the market's telling me. And what the market's telling me right now is that we are continuing to have especially now on the short term, right? We're having these down bars, having a nice downward leg through here on the GDX. I can't be fighting that. I cannot fight the markets. And you guys know yourself, right? It's like you do really, really, really well, and then guess what? Wow, and then you just get hammered. Why? Because you don't want to be wrong, right? You may have had 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 successful trades in a row. Yeah, you're the king. You're the man. Ba ba ba. Ego. Yeah, look at me. Chest out. Ba ba. Right? And then guess what? Then you triple up here. You know it's going to be a successful trade, and it's not. And you hold on, and you hold on, and you hold on, and hold on, and hold on, and hold on. No, ba ba ba. No, wrong way to go. What if I did this? What if I did that? That's his nose, and that's his eyes there, and that's his face. I'm having a whole bunch of fun here, guys. Trading is amazing, guys. Just be patient and wait for a setup that you believe in. Now that part, that's the hard part, right? Having a setup that you believe in. If you don't have that, guys, unfortunately, you guys, you won't be watching me right now. In 12 months time frame, you won't be around. How come if you go watch my videos, I've been around since 2008 doing these videos on YouTube. How come I'm still around in these markets, guys? There's something I'm doing differently, right? What is that? Now, I'm not perfect, right? And I get smacked around sometimes like, oh shit, oh man, oh that wasn't good. Anyway, onwards and upwards. So, anyway, so we can see what's happening with the GDX, guys. And once again, we're probably going to get some sort of a hard flush down through here. But guys, if we do get the flush down, if the flushy down does come, okay, and we do start to see a bit of a correction, it's going to pull everything down. Probably Bitcoin's going to come down. The everything pullback is coming. I believe that. The Dow Jones, the S&P, even the Bitcoin, right? Stocks, maybe even gold, right? Gold right now, gold is very an interesting one, and I'm really watching gold to see what it does around these Fibonacci levels. If I measure from the low to the high point here, we can see that this level here is the key level for me. I want to see gold. If gold does not breach this 50% level, maybe even a bit lower than that, or if it doesn't close below that, and we start to develop this higher low through here, that's going to be really, 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 really big for the buyers, guys. Because we've been in one big massive downward movement out of gold, as you can see. There's one big massive downward movement. So there's one big massive downward movement through here. We've got this flush down. I want to see, what actually happens here with gold? Do we actually pull back here? Do we get this high low? If we do get that, and then we start to pull back out of this like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay, if we do get that, guess what? That's going to be so powerful for gold, right, guys? That's going to be so powerful for gold, because that's going to be, to me, if we get something like this, that's going to be the end of this long downward, phase and sideways phase that we've had, and it's been crushing so many people who've been long this market. Especially if you got long back here as the market was just picking up, and now you're in this sort of doldrum period right now of gold. If we do get something like this, guys, we're going to see another pretty big move out of gold. So just keep an eye on that for gold there, because that does happen. This is going to be, we had a very big move up, and now we've had a very long move down. If we get that, expect some fireworks. If we do, the question mark is if we do get something like that around these markets, guys. And even looking at silver right now, guys, everything is just looking like it just wants to pull back right now. And I was wrong last week by looking at, I wasn't wrong. It was just the pattern that was saying, okay, we're likely to see this slingshot move up, especially the metals, was looking like that. But the data has changed. So I'm like, you know what? No, it's not working like that. I need to be out. And I need to protect my account, because guess what? I can always re-enter back in. And that's the beauty thing, right? Never sit there and hold and hope and pray, because it just never does you justice. When I'm in a trade, if there's any doubt at all about this position, then guess what? I am out. So traders, the bottom line here, guys, is we're going to get a lot of volatility. Please be patient. Don't be a bumblebee. Don't be jumping around. Bumblebees, again, jumping and jumping, right? Jumping around. A bumblebee is doing exactly what I've been doing in this video, right? I've been talking about this, and I come back over here, and then I come back over here, and then I come back over here, right? I've been doing a lot of stuff. Don't do that with your trading. Okay, just be patient. Wait for some really good quality setups. If you don't have a good setup, guys, then find one. If you need one, again, link in description. Go learn my pattern, and then that's 5% of your success. Then 95% of your success is sticking to the pattern, sticking to the setup, and nothing else. That's your hard part, right? Because you just want an idea. Oh, I'm looking for this idea. I'm looking for this. No ideas, okay? And I will see you tomorrow.